IAS once again. Right. So you know very well we are discussing the 10 years previous questions. We are in the subject of modern history. Right. We are in the subject of modern history. Right. So yesterday we have seen till questions till 2019. Now we will try to complete the remaining years questions from 2018 to 2014. Right. So remember the three pointers I mention. One is number of questions every year. Second thing is specific areas from where the questions are coming, and third one is whether these are factual questions or analytical questions. So with this checklist we will go forward. Right. First question is, consider the following events. So in this question the chronology is given. Chronology of the events is given. You have to arrange them in a particular order. So that is the question. First one is, the first democratically elected Communist Party government formed in a state in India. So this particular government formed in Kerala state. Right. So you know this importance of this particular communist government in Kerala, not only in India, world over. It is the first democratically elected communist government, not only in the world, not only in Asia, in the entire world. So this has happened. So other areas, other countries, you will see the communist governments, but they are single party. You will see the single party dominance. Apart from the Communist Party, no other party is allowed to be formed. Just right now also, if you take the example of China or Russia, only elections will be there. President in Russia, elections to the president are there. In China, if you see, only nomination of the president will take place. Russia only, election is there, but only the party, recognized party is Communist Party, no other party is there. And if you want to contest, you have to contest independently. So here in India, multiple parties are there. Here the Communist Party was able to garner majority over the other parties, and it was able to form the democratic form of government. Right. So this has happened somewhere around 1950s, 51, 52, around that time this happened. Next is, India's then largest bank, Imperial Bank of India, was renamed as State Bank of India. This is the second statement. Next is, Air India was nationalized and became the national carrier. This is the third statement. Goa became a part of independent India. So you will see this happened very late. The Portuguese were the last to leave India, that is their station was at Goa. And you know one thing you should remember, they were the first people to come to India also. Portuguese were the first people to come to India, and they were last to leave India. Right. So if you see the chronological order, so this has happened first. First, Air India has been declared, Air India has been nationalized and it became a national carrier. This is the first event. After that, this happened. The largest bank in India, that is Imperial Bank of India, it has been renamed as State Bank of India. Right. This is the second event. And the third event, if you see, right, this is third event is this one. First democratically elected government, elected communist government, Communist Party government formed in a state of India, that is in Kerala. So afterwards this happened. Last one to happen is this one. Right. Goa became a part of independent India. Right. So chronological order questions we have seen like till now 4 or 5 questions in the history. So try to be aware of these aspects also. Next is second question. In the federation established by the Government of India Act of 1935, residuary powers were given to the following functionary. So it is clearly, you know, the residuary powers have been given to the Governor General. Residuary powers mean, you know, the powers that have been not put in the constitution. That those residuary powers are that are not mentioned in the, you can say, in the distribution list, and which are going to be come in the future. So those items are called as the residuary powers, and in the 1935 Act they have been given to the Governor General, and similarly after independent India in the new constitution also they have been kept with the central government. So if you see the other federal governments like United States of America, etc., the residuary powers are with the states, not with the center. Right. Next question. Question number 3. Right. Which of the following led to the introduction of English education in India? Right. So Charter Act of 1813, this is also contributed. So first mention of introduction of English education was India. He started with 1813 Act, Charter Act of 1813. But however, till 1833, because of the no consensus on introduction of the English education in India, the decision was pending. Only after 1830, only under the 1833 Charter Act, some funds have been allocated for promoting English education in India. So action has started with the 1833 Act. Next statement, General Committee of Public Instruction, 1823. So it is something related with the instruction only. Instruction is medium, whether to follow the whether to teach in the vernacular languages, Indian languages, or the English language, what should be the medium. So to decide on that, this particular committee has been appointed. So this is also part and parcel of making the English education a reality in India. Third statement is Orientalist and Anglicist controversy. So this controversy was also there, same thing I was mentioning. Orientalist means people wanted that education should take place, especially the basic education, school education, that should take place in the Indian languages. Anglicist controversy is Anglicists argued that we have to directly start with English medium education only. So that is the controversy. There was a long debate went on. Only after a large debate or long debate, it has been decided that we have to go forward with the English education only, and funds were released for realizing the English education in India. Correct option is option D. All the statements given are correct. Right. Next is question number 4. In 1920, which of the following changed its name to Swarajya Sabha? So straightforward question, but it is somewhat difficult to know the name. But so this is All India Home Rule League. It changed its name to Swarajya Sabha. So you know, Home Rule League movement occurred during 1960s. Between 1916 around 1916 to 1918, we will see this Home Rule League movement. So it is spearheaded by Annie Besant and Bal Gangadhar Tilak, you know very well. So this movement has been started in the context of First World War that lasted between 1914 to 1918. So this movement demanded that India should be granted dominion status on the lines of other English colonies like Canada, etc. So on the line of Canada, Ireland, India should also be given dominion status. So that was the meaning, that was the intention of this particular movement. Next question, question number 5. Which among the following events happened earliest? So again you will see a chronological question. So the options are Swami Dayananda Saraswati established Arya Samaj, Dinbandhu Mitra wrote Neel Darpan, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay wrote Anandamath, Satyendra Tagore became the first Indian to succeed the Indian Civil Services examination. So in this the Dinbandhu Mitra's Neel Darpan, it has happened before, earliest. So the if you see the context, it is something related with the cultivation of indigo. Cultivation of indigo in India, especially the Bihar, the present Bihar, UP region. So you know Champaran Satyagraha that we have studied, and we have also seen the question of on the disappearance of indigo cultivation from India. What are the reasons for that? That question also we have seen. Right. So in Neel Darpan, the problems and the sufferings of the indigo cultivating farmers have been described. So that is the theme of this particular book. Next question, you will see, with reference to educational institutions during colonial rule in India, consider the following pairs. Right, institution and the founder of the institution. Right. So you will see which of the following pairs given are above is or are correct. So Sanskrit College of Binaras. Right. So this is incorrect statement. It was not founded by William Jones. So it is founded by Jonathan Duncan. Jonathan Duncan has founded this. Calcutta Madrasa, so it is founded by Warren Hastings. This is a correct statement. Fort William College, it is founded by not Arthur Wellesley. If you change his name, it is founded by Lord Wellesley. Arthur Wellesley is different from Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley has founded Fort William College. So only second pair is correct. The other 1 and 3 pairs are incorrect. Correct option is option B. Right. Next question, question number 7. The staple commodities of export by the English East India Company from Bengal in the middle of 18th century were which of the below? So the staple commodities that have been exported from India are cotton, silk, saltpeter and opium. So these are the common goods that have been exported by English East India Company from the port of Bengal. Right. So opium, I have explained. Opium used to be very profitable. Opium was used to the opium used to be traded in China, right? And from there tea used to be purchased, and that tea they were Britishers or East India Company was selling in India. Right. Next question, question number 8. Which of the following is a very significant aspect of the Champaran Satyagraha? Right. So important aspect of Champaran Satyagraha, active all India participation of lawyers, students and women in the national movement. So we can say the Champaran Satyagraha is initial, it has spoked the spirit of mass participation in a movement. So but we can say it is not, I mean the influence is not that much bigger, like all lawyers and etc. can take place in that. So it is a very we can say overrated statement. Next is active involvement of Dalit and tribal communities of India in the national movement. So this is also we can say but at that time Dalits and tribals have not been effectively mobilized into the national movement. This is also an incorrect statement. Next is joining the peasant unrest to India's national movement. Yes, this is a correct statement. With this effectively we have joined the peasant unrest who were protesting. Same, the indigo is the question is in the question here. Indigo. Right. Indigo cultivating farmers, they were protesting against the planters. So Gandhi went there and he has protested, he has sat on a fast unto death to demand justice to the indigo farmers. So in that he effectively joined the peasant unrest into the national movement of India. Next is drastic decrease in the cultivation of plantation crops and commercial crops. So we cannot say there is a drastic decrease in the cultivation of plantation crops and commercial crops. Though the plantation crops not only includes India, but it also includes other crops like tea, banana, sugarcane cultivation, etc., etc. So this is, we cannot say this happened with the Champaran Satyagraha. Right. Next question, question number 9. Who among the following were the founders of the Hind Mazdoor Sabha established in 1948? So it is option D, very factual question. Previous question which was on the indigo Champaran Satyagraha, that we can consider as an analytical question, but this is a completely facts based question. So the leaders, the founders of Hind Mazdoor Sabha that was established in 1948 are Ashok Mehta, T.S. Ramanujan and G.G. Mehta. They were the founders. Next question, question number 10. Which one of the following statements does not apply to the system of subsidiary alliance introduced by the Lord Wellesley? Right. So, which one of the below does not apply? So, maintain large standing army at others' expense. This was the very intention of the subsidiary alliance. The East India Company will have army, but that army will be maintained at the cost of some princely state which has signed the subsidiary alliance. Next is to keep India safe from Napoleonic danger. Yes, this was part and parcel of subsidiary alliance. Next is to secure a fixed income for the company. This was not the intention of East India Company. It was not something about generating income for the company, right? I mean, there was some income for the company because for the maintenance of this army that was placed for the protection of the princely state, particular princely state, the princely state have to surrender a particular part of that kingdom to the East India Company, where they can collect taxes, and these taxes are supposed to be used for maintenance of that army, right? But the major purpose is not for a fixed income. It was not fixed income, right? So this is not exactly belong to the subsidiary alliance. Next is to establish British paramountcy over Indian states, right? So this is also correct statement. So as part of imperial policy of British only, the subsidiary alliance doctrine, or we can say system, has been introduced in India. So option C is the correct option. Next question, 11th question. After the Santhal uprising subsided, what were the measures taken by the colonial government? Right. So first option is the territories called Santhal Parganas was created. Yes, this is a correct statement. Santhal Parganas, a separate district, was created. It became illegal for Santhal to transfer land to non-Santhal. So this was to prevent the outsiders entering the Santhal regions, or effectively tribal regions, and occupy land there. So actually this is the outsiders who came in the form of money lenders and landowners. That also one of the major target of the Santhal rebellion. So it is the belief that once the outsiders, they have entered the tribal areas, once they acquire land, they will start exploiting the tribal people. So that is the reason why the Santhals, I mean transfer of land from Santhals to non-Santhals has been made illegal. So this is a correct statement. Both the statements are correct. Right. Option C, both the statements are correct. Right. Next question, question number 12. Economically, one of the results of the British rule in India in the 19th century was which of the below? So it is increase in the export of Indian handicrafts. Actually this has declined, opposite of this has declined. The Indian handicraft industries have been destroyed. Growth in the number of Indians owned factories, this is also declined actually. Commercialization of Indian agriculture, yes, this has occurred. One of the impacts of British policies in India are commercialization of agriculture. Farmers have forced to produce or cultivate commercial crops like indigo, sugarcane, etc., cotton, at the expense or at the cost of production of food grains like paddy, wheat, etc. Rapid increase in the urban population. So in fact you will see the opposite of it. You will see the decline of urban population and you will see ruralization. So many of the artisans who were involved in the handicrafts industries, and because of the lack of work, they have to migrate to rural areas to find some work. Right. So this is, I mean, correct option is option C. Commercialization of Indian agriculture has occurred. Next question, question number 13. Regarding the Woods dispatch, which of the following statements are true? Right. Statement 1. Grants in aid system was introduced. Right. Establishment of universities was recommended. English as a medium of instruction at all levels of education was recommended. So two statements, that is grants in aid system was introduced, this is correct. Establishment of universities was recommended, yes, this is also correct. English as a medium of instruction for at all levels. This was not the original recommendation of Wood's dispatch. Actually, for lower classes, especially at the elementary level, it has suggested teaching in the Indian languages. And once the primary education is completed, it suggested at higher education it can take place, and it has to take place in the English education, English medium. That was the recommendation of the Wood's dispatch. So correct option is option A. Statements 1 and 2 are only correct. Right. Next, question number 14. Right. Right. Question is, he wrote biographies of Mazini, Garibaldi, Shivaji, and Sri Krishna. Stayed in America for some time and was also elected to the Central Assembly. He was which of the below? So he is Lala Lajpat Rai, one of the major personality in the Indian national movement. Originally belongs from Punjab province, and he was instrumental during the anti-Simon protest, or anti-Simon Commission protest. Right. So he was subjected to lathi charge, and because of the wounds during that lathi charge only, he succumbed to those injuries. Right. So that is correct option is option C, Lala Lajpat Rai. Right. So you will see lot many questions are being asked in the 2018 exam. 14 questions have been asked. So you can see this is the one of the highest number of questions that have been asked from modern Indian history in a particular year. So this is the highest number. Right. Next is next you will see question number 2017 questions. Right. So first question, who among the following was or were associated with the introduction of Raithwari settlement in India during the British rule? So the options are Lord Cornwallis, Alexander Reed, and Thomas Munro. Lord Cornwallis is not associated with it. The two East India Company employees, Thomas Munro and Alexander Reed, so they were the brains, or they have prepared the Raithwari method. Correct option is option C. Statements 2 and 3 are correct. Next question. Right. Question number 2. The Trade Disputes Act of 1929 provided for which of the below? So they have provided for a system of tribunals and ban on strikes. So this is the correct option. Other options, if you read, they are incorrect. The participation of workers in the management of industries, actually this came after the independence. Right. In the directive principles of state policy, we have mentioned this, the participation of workers in the management of industry. Next is arbitrary powers to the management to quell industrial disputes. So this is also, by reading the statement itself, you can consider this as incorrect, because this is not at all the correct. Next is an intervention by the British court in the event of a trade dispute. This is also not the original provision in the Trade Disputes Act of 1929. So it established a system of tribunals to and there was a general ban on the strikes. Right. Next question, question number 3. Consider the following statements. Right. Statement 1. The Factories Act 1881 was passed with a view to fix the wages of industrial workers and to allow the workers to form trade unions. Right. So this is incorrect. The Factories Act of 1881 did not allow this. Right. Next, N.M. Lokhande was a pioneer in organizing the labor movement in British India. Yes, this is a correct statement. N.M. Lokhande is associated with pioneering in organizing the labor in the British labor movement in British India. Right. Correct option is option B. Statements 2 is correct. Right. Next question, question number 4. Right. The object of the Butler Committee of 1927 was to which of the below? So the object of is to improve the relationship between the government of India and the Indian states. So this is the correct statement. So government of India means the British Indian government. So with that, the Indian states are princely states. Princely state. So the objective of the company was to improve relation between the government of India and the princely states at the time that were there. So that is the objective of Butler Commission. The rest of the options are incorrect, right? Next question, question number 5. Consider the following pairs. Again, pairs have been given. First pair, Radhakant Dev. He is associated with first president of the British Indian Association. So this is a correct statement. He is the first president of the British Indian Association. So that formed in the Bengal. So try to know more about the pre-Congress associations in India. Pre-Congress association, right? There was Indian Association, there was British Indian Association, so some other associations were there, right? Try to know. South India also there were some associations, and Maharashtra was also there is an association, so try to know about the association. Next is Gazulu Lakshmi Narasu Chetty, founder of the Madras Mahajan Sabha. This is incorrect statement. He is Gazulu Lakshmi Narasu Chetty. He is not the founder of Madras Mahajan Sabha. So I was talking about this organization only, that is established in South India, the Madras province. So right. So this is incorrect statement. Next is Surendranath Banerjee, founder of the Indian Association. Yes, this is a correct statement. Surendranath Banerjee was the founder of the Indian Association. Correct option is option B. Statements 1 and 3 are correct. Right. Question number 6. Question number 6. In the context of Indian history, the principle of diarchy or diarchy refers to which of the below? So diarchy refers to many times we see division of the subjects delegated to the provinces into the division of the subjects delegated to the provinces into two categories. So previously also we have seen one question. So it happened in the 1999 Montague-Chelmsford reforms. So here there is a division of powers between the center and the provinces. So the provincial subjects itself, they have been divided into reserved and transferred. So I have explained at that time only. Reserved subjects are retained with the British officials, and they are not answerable to the provincial legislature. And however, the ministers who are looking after the transferred subjects, effectively they are Indians, they are answerable to the provincial legislative assembly. And the division of the subjects also I have discussed. So majorly the subjects which are revenue generating or that are concerned with the law and order, security, they have been retained. And the subjects which have involvement of spending of money and not that much important subjects, they have been given to the the Indian members. They are called as ministers or non-official members. Correct option is option D. Right. Question number 7. With reference to the Indian freedom struggle, consider the following events. Right. The event 1, mutiny in Royal Indian Navy, that is the first statement. Quit India movement launched. Next is second roundtable conference. So what is the correct chronological sequence of the above events? So we can say relatively easy question. So the second roundtable conference, you know very well, it happened immediately after the temporary suspension of the civil disobedience movement. So effectively during 1932, the second roundtable conference has happened. So this is the, we can say, the earliest movement among the three. Next happened what is happened is Quit India movement, right? So opposing the Cripps mission, and Indians wanted that Britishers should altogether leave India. So with that spirit, Quit India movement has been launched. And next one is last one to occur is mutiny of Royal Indian Navy or Royal Indian ratings of Royal Indian Navy. So this is the, we can say, the observers or historians call this is the last nail in the coffin of the British Empire in India. So this is the last one to occur. So this is the chronological order of the events that have occurred. Correct option is option C. Right, 3, 2, 1. Right. Right. 2016. So 7 questions have been asked from 2017. So if you see with the latest years, this is also a very good number only. 7 questions have been asked from the asked in the 2017 examination. Now we will see the questions of 2016. Right. So question is, the Swadeshi and boycott were adopted as measures of struggle for the first time during the right. So they have occurred, they have been adopted as we can say measures of protest, or we can say tools of protest during the agitation against the partition of Bengal during 1905. So this is also popularly known as Vande Mataram movement. Vande Mataram movement. So you know, buzzwords at that time are the boycott and Swadeshi. So regarding on the Swadeshi movement, we have also seen one more question. I think yesterday or day before yesterday. It is also about the boycott of foreign textiles, right? So it is agitation against the partition of Bengal. Question number 2. Satya Shodhak Samaj was organized. What it is? So it is a movement of upliftment of tribal in Bihar. This is incorrect statement. A temple entry movement in Gujarat. This is incorrect. In fact, you will see temple entry movements in the Kerala state of Kerala. Next is anti-caste movement in Maharashtra. Yes, this is correct statement with respect to Satya Shodhak Samaj. So Jyotiba Phule, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule has started this movement. So try to know more about Jyotiba Phule and his wife Savitribai Phule. They were the we can say front runners or torch bearers of the lower caste movements in the South India, especially the Deccan area, Maharashtra, etc. Right. A peasant movement in Punjab. This is also incorrect statement. Correct statement is C. It is an anti-caste movement in the state of Maharashtra, started by Jyotiba Phule. Right. Next statement. Sorry. Next question. Question number 3. The Montague-Chelmsford proposals were related to, right, which of the same Montague-Chelmsford reforms are they have given in 1919, immediately after the end of First World War. During the First World War, they have made some promises that we will bring a form of native government in India. So in that effort only, we have seen the diarchy, system of diarchy. Some subjects have been transferred to provinces and they have been further divided into reserved subjects and transferred subjects. So it is something related to the constitutional reforms in India. So what is that reform? Some powers have been given to provinces, and further they have been divided into 2 lists. And no, if you see on the face of them, they are very meager and very insufficient reforms that have been given by the Britishers. So because of this reason only, immediately during 1920, Mahatma Gandhi has started the non-cooperation movement. So the reforms of 1919, they are the major reason behind starting the non-cooperation movement. Right. Next question, question number 4. Right. So question is, consider the following. Right. One is Calcutta Unitarian Committee. Next is Tabernacle of New Dispensation. Next is Indian Reform Association. Right. So question is, Kesab Chandra Sen is associated with the establishment of which of the above? So Kesab Chandra Sen is associated with the establishment of these 2 things: Tabernacle of New Dispensation and Indian Reform Association. So with these 2 things, Kesab Chandra Sen is associated with. Correct option is option B. So you see, comparatively it is a tough question. You should know all the aspects related to Kesab Chandra Sen, then only you will be in a position to answer the question. Right. Next question, question number 5. What was the main reason for the split in the Indian National Congress at Surat in 1907? Right. So option A, introduction of communalism into the Indian politics by Lord Minto. So this has happened in the 1909 reforms. 1909. So it happened after the Indian split in the Indian National Congress. Extremists lack of faith in the capacity of the moderates to negotiate with the British government. Yes, this is the correct statement. There was a severe battle between the moderates and extremists. Moderates wanted, the extremists wanted that the movement has to be spread to other parts of the country only, but the extremists believed that, the moderates believed that it should be confined to only Bengal. It should not be taken to other parts of the country, and there was a disagreement on the methods used also. So the extremists were advocating for radical measures like boycott, Swadeshi, etc., etc. So the moderates were ready to accept these measures, but they were not ready to spread this movement to other parts of the country. So this led to the 1907 split in the Congress. So foundation of Muslim League, this is not something related with the split in the Congress. This is also incorrect. Aurobindo Ghosh's inability to be elected as the president of the Indian National Congress. Actually here Bal Gangadhar Tilak from the extremists, that has been, the extremists decided that he should be made as the president of the Congress. To avoid that, they deliberately, that year's meeting, the National Congress annual meeting, it has been shifted to Nagpur. So Nagpur at the time was part of Bombay province. So there was a rule that a person belonging to the province where the annual meeting is going to take place, conference is going to take place, that person should not contest, and so because of that reason Bal Gangadhar Tilak became ineligible to be contested in that particular election. Right. So because of this disagreement between the extremists and moderates, the split has occurred. Next question, question number 6. Right. Question is, the plan of Sir Stafford Cripps envisaged that after the Second World War, right, what is that? India should be given a dominion status. So this was the proposal of Sir Stafford Cripps. You know what happened after the Cripps mission. So it occurred 1942. The proposals that were there in the Cripps mission, they were very disappointing to especially the Congress leader, Indian freedom fighters or national leaders, especially the Congress leaders. One thing is they are promising dominion status, it is not complete independence. So Indians were demanding complete independence, Purna Swarajya. And next thing is there, the constitutional assembly will be formed. The provinces will send the members, their representatives, and some members from the princely states will be nominated. And the third thing is, if a princely state is not willing to adopt the constitution that is prepared by the Constituent Assembly, they can make a separate agreement with the British authorities. So this provision was kept to appease especially the Muslim League. However, this mission is also failed to appease the Muslim League also, because they wanted a separate Pakistan at any cost. So because of this reason, everybody was dissatisfied with the Cripps proposals. So correct option is this one only, the proposal, main proposal in that India should be given a dominion status. Right. So next is question number, sixth question. So you will see in 2016, 6 questions have been asked from modern India. Right. Now we will see the questions from 2015. Right. First question, with reference to Rowlatt Act Satyagraha, which of the following statements is or are correct? Right. Statement 1, Rowlatt Act was based on the recommendations of the Sedition Committee. Yes, this is a correct statement. The Rowlatt Act was based on the recommendations of the Sedition Committee. So this committee was appointed by the Britishers, right? So what are the measures that can be taken to prevent the seditious nature of Indians that who are demanding the freedom? Especially they are threatened by the activities of the revolutionary terrorists, or you will also call them as revolutionary terrorists or revolutionary extremism, right? So to deal with them, this sedition committee has been appointed, and that committee gave the recommendation that Rowlatt Act has to be enacted, right? Next is Rowlatt Satyagraha. Gandhiji tried to utilize the in Rowlatt Satyagraha, Gandhi tried to utilize the Home Rule League. Yes, this is also a correct statement. Gandhiji tried to use the Home Rule League in protest against the Rowlatt Act, and that is called as Rowlatt Satyagraha. Next is demonstrations against the arrival of Simon Commission coincided with the Rowlatt Satyagraha. So Rowlatt Simon Commission occurred after all the things have happened, like Home Rule League has almost subsided. Rowlatt Satyagraha occurred during 1919, and non-cooperation movement has also occurred. So after all these things, during 1927, around that time, you will see the Simon Commission touring India, and because no Indian member was included in the commission, Indians have took to protest, and the popular slogan at that time was Simon Go Back, right? So after what happened after the Simon Commission, the commission still it gave its recommendations, and to discuss the proposals of Simon Commission, the round table conferences have been called. 3 round table conferences have been conducted. Congress only participated in the second round table conferences. Before that, we will see civil disobedience movement, and there is a Gandhi-Irwin Pact. So according to the pact, Gandhi temporarily suspended civil disobedience movement and participated in the 1932 second round table conference. Right. So the story afterwards, what happened, you know very well. Correct option is option B. Only statement 1 and 2 are correct. So if you have the idea about the chronology of the events, you can comfortably answer the question. Right. Next question, question number 2. Who of the following was or were the economic critic or critics of the colonialism in India? Right. So 3 of them are part of the economic critics of the colonialism in India. Dadabhai Naoroji. So he has written a famous book, that is Un-British Rule in India. Un-British Rule in India. So in that he in detail explained how the British policies are exploiting India. Next is G. Subramaniam Iyer. He also part and parcel of moderates. He exposed the British policies in India. He completely analyzed how the GDP growth in India is declining, how the per capita income of the people is declining, how the living standards are falling, Indian people's living standards have fallen during the British rule, etc. He has done a detailed analysis. So same thing applies to R.C. Dutt also. He has also done a detailed analysis of the British policies and their adverse impact on India. So they are part of the economic criticism of colonial rule in India. So all of them are part of moderates. So one of the major contributions of the moderate period is, so they have exposed through their writings, they have exposed the faulty policies of Britishers in India, and how the wealth of Indians is being stealed by Britishers. So the concept is famously come to known as the drain of wealth theory. So this popular theory is given by Dadabhai Naoroji. So option D is the correct option. Statements 1, 2 and 3. All of them are involved in the economic criticism against the British colonialism in India. Right. Next question, question number 3. Right. With reference to Congress Socialist Party, consider the following statements. Right. Statement 1, it advocated the boycott of uh, boycott of British goods and services and evasion of taxes. So it did not, propose that. It wanted to establish dictatorship of proletariat. So this is the idea of the Communist Party of India, CPI, not the Congress Socialist Party. Socialist ideology, it is somewhat moderate from when you compare it with the communist ideology, right? Next is it advocated separate electorate for minorities and oppressed classes. So this is also not correct with the Congress Socialist Party. So it is a some members within the Congress, Indian National Congress, they have formed, and they are attracted by the developments in Russia, and within the Congress they have formed a socialist party, Congress Socialist Party, right? So their ideas are not that much radical. They had only moderate ideas, but what they decide is they decide a socialist pattern just on the lines of the Russia, how Russia is developing. So like that, those policies they wanted, right? So option D is the correct. None of the above mentioned are concerned with the socialist Congress Socialist Party, right? Next question, question number 4. Right. Question is, the Government of India Act of 1919 was clearly defined which of the below? So it defined separation, that separation of power between the judiciary and legislature. So this has not something related with the 1919 Act. The jurisdiction of the central and provincial governments. Yes, this is the division we will see. So there is a division between the center and provinces. I am repeatedly explaining. Next, there is a division within the subjects that have been given to provinces also. Reserved subjects and transferred subjects. Next, the powers of the Secretary of State for India and the Viceroy. No, this is also not done. None of the above. So because we have a correct option, that is jurisdiction of the central and provincial governments, there is a clear division. So this statement becomes correct statement. Option B is the correct. Right. Question number 5. Who of the following organized a march on the Tanjore coast to break the salt in April 1930? So it is C. Rajagopalachari who organized a march on the Tanjore coast, or Tanjavur, or also it is called as, to break the salt law in April 1930. So try to know the popular leaders in the salt satyagraha, various regions. Mahatma Gandhiji appointed various leaders at various locations to violate the salt law. So if you see the the Darsana region in or around the Orissa, so here Sarojini Naidu participated. Sarojini Naidu. So if you take the Tanjore coast in the region of coastal region of Tamil Nadu, it is C. Rajagopalachari. So Rajagopalachari also hails from that region only, Tamil Nadu region. And in the northwest frontier province, if you see, it is Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. So he headed the salt satyagraha there. Nehru, I think he participated in and around the protest of around Delhi also. Delhi, we will see the participation of Jawaharlal Nehru. So in the salt satyagraha, try to know about the regional leaders also, who participated at which place. Right. Next question, question number 6. Right. Consider the following statements. Right. Statement 1: the first woman president of the Indian National Congress was Sarojini Naidu. So this is an incorrect statement. The first women president of Indian National Congress is Kadambini Ganguly. I'm sorry, I'm right or wrong, I am not sure, but as far as I know, it is Kadambini Ganguly. But recheck once again. If you see the overall women president, it can be unabsent like that, but the first women president is Kadambini Ganguly only, as far as I remember. Ganguly, right. Next is the first Muslim president of Indian National Congress was Badruddin Tayyabji. So this is a correct statement. First Muslim president was Badruddin Tayyabji. Option B is the correct option. Right. Next statement or next question, question number 7. Right. Question is, with reference to the cabinet mission Which of the following statements is or are correct? Right. Cabinet mission plan. Right. So statements are recommended a federal government. Yes, this is a correct statement. It recommended a federal government. Next is it enlarged the powers of the Indian courts. So there was no particular mention about in the cabinet mission plan in the about the powers of the courts. It provided for more Indians in the ICS, Indian Civil Services. So this is also something not related with the cabinet mission plan. So once cabinet mission plan came to discuss the independence for India. So once independence given to in India, all the things are going to be, I mean all the civil servants are going to be Indians only, right. So major aspect in this cabinet mission is it recommended a federal government, right, and it also included some groups of provinces will be formed. So that will be there, and apart from that there will be where the Muslim majority provinces are there, they can also form a group. So moreover, there will be a provincial system of governments will be there. There will be a federal government. So because of the severe opposition of the Muslim League wanted a separate Pakistan. So because of this reason, the cabinet mission plan has been failed. It has been a failure. Right. Next question, question number 8. Right. Question is, which one of the following movements has contributed to a split in the Indian National Congress, resulting in the emergence of moderates and extremists? So you know very well, just before we have seen one question, it is Swadeshi movement or Vande Mataram movement or the movement against the partition of Bengal. So there is a severe disagreement between the moderates and extremists taking on the methods or tools that have to be adapted in the protest movement. So because of that, you will see a split in the Congress, right. So these are the questions in 2015. 8 questions have been asked. So we can say still it is a fair number of questions, right. Next class we will see the questions from 2014, right. First question is, the partition of Bengal made by Lord Curzon in 1905 lasted until which of the below? So it lasted until King George V abrogated Curzon's act at the Royal Darbar in Delhi in 1911. So this is the correct statement, right. So right, all other given statements are incorrect. So it is abrogated 1905, you will see the partition of Bengal, and 1911 it has been annulled. However, no parts of Odisha and Assam, some regions of Assam, they have been separated from Bengal, right, that you will see, but majority partition that was intended to create a Muslim majority area within the Bengal, so that has been effectively annulled, right. Next statement. Next question, question number 2. The 1929 session of Indian National Congress is of significance in the history of the freedom movement because of the which of the below? So it declared attainment of Purna Swarajya was adopted as the goal of the Congress in this 1929 session of Indian National Congress. So because of this reason only, we will celebrate, I mean at this time the Purna Swarajya resolution, Purna Swarajya has been adopted. So because of the date 26th January, that particular resolution has been adopted. So because of that reason only, we will celebrate 26th January as a Republic Day. Though we have adopted the Constitution on the 26th November itself 1949, we have postponed the, we can say, commencement of the Constitution till 26th January 1950, so that we can celebrate this day as the Republic Day of India, the day on which the Purna Swarajya, declaration of Purna Swaraj has been adopted by the Indian National Congress during 1929 Congress session, January 26th. Right. This is the correct statement. Option B is the correct one. Next, option 3 or question 3, the Gadar was a which of the below. So yesterday also we have seen a question in the about the Gadar movement. I have explained all the things, the Komagatamaru incident, and how they are the migrant workers returning to India, how they have been faulty or mistakenly recognized, thought as the terrorists, and they have been shot down. So because of that, the Gadarites, they have decided to came back to India and start a revolution, and because of their plan is known to Britishers before, the movement has been foiled, or the plan has been foiled. So it is a revolutionary association of Indians with headquarters at San Francisco. So this is the correct option. Right. Next question, question number 4, and the last question for the day for us. So what was or were the object or objects of Queen Victoria's proclamation of 1858? So this 1858 Queen's proclamation, Queen Victoria's proclamation is immediately happened after the came after the 1857 revolt. 1857 revolt. So it is the options, if you see, to disclaim any intention to annex Indian states. Yes, this is a correct statement. After that, you will see no Indian state has been annexed by the British government. Right. So to place the Indian administration under the British crown, yes, practically we have become the citizens of Britain, and crown directly acquired the powers over India. Before that, the East India Company was ruling over the India. Right. Next is to regulate East India Company's trade with India. So this is an incorrect statement. This happened much before. So with the 1773, the act only, that regulation of East India Companies has started, the regulating act. So with that it has been started. Select the correct answer using the code below, given below. So option A is correct, statements 1 and 2 are correct, statement 3 is incorrect. Right. So this is it for today. So by this we have completed the modern Indian history also. Right. So last one session is remaining, in that we will discuss the questions from medieval India. So not many questions are there from medieval India. Approximately around 25 to 30 questions are there. So tomorrow we will see those questions. Right. So this is it for today. Thank you for joining the class. See you tomorrow. Until then, have a good day. Right.